Okay, this week we're going to use the dial indicator, and these are, you can use them for measuring, and you can also use them for checking for variation, or what they would call run out in machining. And I use one of these in my workshop to check the alignment of the blade on my table saw. And so I have a jig built that holds one of these onto a platform, and it fits in the slots on the table saw, and then I can adjust it and put it against the blade and get a reading and zero it, and then move it to the other end of the blade to check the reading and the zero there to make sure that my table saw blade is parallel with the table. That's just one example of it. This one has the small dial right here. This is the revolutions counter, and it will go 10 revolutions. This measures from 0 to 1 inch, and as you pull the lever, the handle out here, you can see there 1 revolution, and this moves up to the 1, and then 2 moves to the 0.2, and so those are tenths of an inch. And 1 revolution is 0.1 of an inch. Each of the indexes is 1/1000th of an inch. Okay, now the way we're going to use this is we have a platform here, and let me zoom back out. We have a platform, okay, that sits down, and wow, something's got out of walk with it. It might be my table too. Yeah, there we go. Well, no. The screws just turned. It should sit flat without wobble. There we go. Okay. And then we have the arm with a magnetic base, and you'll put the base down on it and turn it to on, and it activates the magnet so that it doesn't move. And this setup is a little bit different from the one in the textbook that the PDFs you're using, because my dial indicator, or this thing, went wonky from being used, and I had to buy a new one. Couldn't get exactly the same type, so this is what I got. So with this knob here, you loosen this knob and it frees up both of the arms, okay, so that you can articulate it around, and you tighten it down and it locks both of the arms in place. This end out here has a ball joint in there that goes up and down, and you can kind of rotate it a little bit. And it's kind of tough to move. It's in there tight. And then this screw adjusts the angle between here and here. And if you look down in the slot there and you turn the screw, you can see it moving. So it's for very small adjustments of your final angle. And the way we'll use this is we'll put it on the platform over in a corner and turn the magnet on, and then it sticks. The dial gauge here goes down in here, and you're going to want to turn it so that it'll fit down in there, and then you'll tighten the screw up on the outside there to lock it. Now we don't want it down in there so far we can't adjust the bevel there. And what you're going to do is when you come into class, you're going to have a gauge block. It'll be a rectangular block with holes in it, and you'll set it on the platform, and you'll adjust this arm so that you want to adjust the arms so that the rod is near vertical. And you want to be able to read the gauge over there. And the textbook tells you to set it, just get it adjusted This is really hard to do with on sideways here, but you want to get it adjusted so that the plunger is just barely below the surface of the test block, and then you'll set it on the test block, and then you will adjust your zero over here by just turning the dial. And so you would adjust it to 0, and then you're going to measure each of the rods that are given. And I do not have any of those with me while I'm working this video, so I can't really explain, demonstrate how that's going to work. This will pretty much be set up when you come into the lab. The big thing you'll have to do is adjust the arm so that, and you may have to move this from on the base. That corner may not work. You may need to, kind of move it at an angle so that this arm can lean back a little bit further than is normal. So whatever orientation is going to work to make it so that you can get this rod as near vertical as you can at the correct height above the plate. Okay, and the handout shows setting this up and then using a steel rule to measure the height of these changes here. You don't have to mess with any of that part. We're just going to go straight to setting it up, zeroing it with the gauge block, and then measuring each of the rods and writing your answers down, okay?